It is about 8:30 p.m. West Coast time on Saturday, June 21st. I'm going to update some new information that I've learned about our attack on Iran and Iran's response. And then I'm going to ask a couple of questions that I very, very much want to know the answers to. But please be very clear. We are at war with Iran. We have gone to war again in the Middle East, again, based on bullshit and lies. Again. Iran was not imminently on the verge of having weaponizable nuclear warheads that it could put on a missile and put that warhead over a target. By any reasonable estimation, they were a couple of years away from that at a minimum. There was no imminent reason for Israel to do what they've done over the last 8 or 9 days. There was absolutely no imminent reason whatsoever for the United States to do what it did tonight. That having been said, I was listening to a live for the Bulwark earlier on my way home from dinner with my brother, and JVL said that George Conway summed it up nicely. I'm paraphrasing. A very smart psychopath, Bibi Netanyahu, convinced a very dumb psychopath, Donald Trump, to bomb a truly heinous psychopathic regime. I think all of those are accurate. I have no sympathy whatsoever for the leadership in Iran. Do you remember following October 7th, anytime anyone would criticize what Israel was doing in the Gaza Strip, and you would immediately be hit with, but do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? Do you condemn Hamas? We're all gonna get that again. Do you condemn the Iranian leadership? Do you condemn the Iranian leadership? Yes, obviously, yes. They are the world's #1 state sponsor of terrorism. Through Hamas, through Hezbollah, through the Houthis in Yemen. They are violent, hate-filled shit disturbers, and they've killed a lot of Americans and a lot of other people. The leadership of that country needs to go. The 92 million citizens of Iran who live in Iran deserve to have freedom and deserve to be able to select their own democratic government. This is not the way to go about doing that. Everything that Israel has done to Iran over the last week or so are acts of war and violate international criminal law, as does what the United States did earlier this evening. It is an act of war, and it is in violation of international criminal law. We bombed a country that had not attacked us directly and who posed no immediate threat to us. So, updated information. The Supreme Leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, has stated that he is activating all Iranian sleeper cells around the world. Donald Trump gave a statement. Hang on, I had to sneeze. Following the bombing, Donald Trump gave a short speech at the White House, and he said that the three sites that were struck, Natanz and Fordow, and the other one's like Isfahan or something like that, that all three of those sites had been completely and totally obliterated. At the time he made that statement, there was no way for him to know whether or not that statement was true. And he has now set an extremely high bar in saying that those 3 sites have been completely obliterated, and along with it, the entirety of Iran's nuclear weapons program. Iran then put out a statement saying we evacuated those 3 sites and we moved all of our nuclear related material or radioactive material to other locations, and it remains intact and undamaged. I saw somebody make a TikTok where they entered a couple of questions into Elon Musk's AI Grok that said that based on initial reports from IAEA, the Atomic Weapons Watchdog, global watchdog, and based on satellite imagery, the centrifuges and the uranium enrichment equipment at Fordo is still operational because it was so far underground, and that the bunker buster bombs that we dropped hit the entrance tunnels, but the facility itself inside of a mountain, it remains intact and undamaged. Iran is now threatening the United States, putting out a statement saying Donald Trump started this and we will end it. And every American citizen, every American military base, every American anything within range of Iran's missiles is now a target and is being considered for missile strikes. Now, the questions that I have. Anytime a president goes through the process of deciding to do something like this, he's presented with a range of options by his military leadership and by CIA and various other departments. Included in that will be an assessment of what will the response be? What will be Iran's retaliation for us doing this? Their retaliation is not going to be nothing. It is not going to be zero. There are 40 to 50,000 active duty U.S. military personnel stationed at official U.S. military bases or facilities that we have access to that we treat like military bases in the Middle East within range of Iran's missiles. Iran has hypersonic missiles. There is basically no defense against those, as Israel has learned over the last week. And again, we have 50,000 members of our military within range of those missiles. I want to know, was Trump advised about the probability, not the possibility, the probability that members of our military are going to be killed by Iran now in the Middle East? That can't not happen now. And so given that this constitutionally ineligible president has just launched an unconstitutional and illegal war against Iran without the consent of Congress, without Congress declaring war, in complete violation of the War Powers Act, he had to have known before he gave the order that a certain range of a range of numbers of members of the United States military are going to die because of this. I have friends who have active duty military children, their kids in that region. It's going to be extremely interesting to see the reporting that develops over the next several days. Hopefully we will come to learn that information before any members of our military are actually killed by Iran. But Donald Trump knows that number is not going to be zero, and he did this anyway, for basically no fucking reason other than Bibi Netanyahu wanted him to and knew how to work his ego.